family. My name is Vicki Dillard, and thank you so much for tuning in to my personal channel here at VickiDillard.tv. I'm so pleased that you're with me today, family. I have popped in on you really quick, family. So let's try to get a broadcast done really quick, family, as I tap in with you. Really, I want you to see today's broadcast as a follow-up to the one that I did a few days ago. Right here, related to Angela Rye, Joe Budden, her podcast that she has with a couple of other co-host family. I'm hoping I can see some folks come over here in a little bit. I don't know why this little thing is popping up here. But anyway, as you come in, family, be sure to give us a thumbs up, thumbs up. I am going, you all know, of course, if you've seen me not only here on my personal channel at VickiDillard.tv, but if you've seen me on other multiple networks and broadcasts that I've helped to grow and build and bring great profit and credibility to over the years, you know I have a little bit of a ritual, yes? And that ritual is that as you come in, be sure to come in giving us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and be sure to share, yes? On the count of three, are you ready? On the count of three, hit that thumbs up button. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, 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 sharing. Thank you so much for joining my very brief live with you today. Hopefully it ended up being a brief live with you today, family. Okay, I'm seeing Kareem says, hey, beautiful. Hey, Kareem. Chicken Bone News says, somebody talk black to me. Yes, beloved. Chef Jonesy says, Your Majesty. Talk black to me. Yes, precious. Pearly, surely love you. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right. Angie says, is this alive? Yes, it's alive, beloved. And even if it's not alive, I always pay attention to what I'm saying. Treat it like alive, because my words and my information are alive and they're absolutely timeless. And so everybody, anywhere in the whole wide world will be wise to know and to tap into what Vicki Dillard is saying, if it's alive or a pre-record. When you are a mature person, you know that you need to receive and access information, regardless of what form. Of course, there's always a different energy when their lives done, but we've got to be disciplined enough to desire to get the information that we need to hear. There's a lot of stuff that we consume. There's a lot of stuff that we listen to. There's a lot of stuff that we give our attention to that we ought not. And if we do give our attention to certain things, we need to be more intentional about making sure that we're disciplined in receiving the information that we know we need to be receiving. That's going to absolutely change our life. Chica said, I love you back. Angie said, I love you back. Beloved, yes, everybody hit that thumbs up button and share. Yes, thank you so very much. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share. Thank you so very much. Okay, shout out. I see one of my moderators, my brother Warren. He says, we're loud, we're here. Yes. So glad that you are with us today. Thumbs up, share, family. I just wanted to briefly come in, family. I am saying briefly. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to keep it brief because I got some other stuff that I need to do. But I wanted to say something to you live versus doing a pre-record here because I have some other work that I've got to get done. I said that I wanted you to see today's broadcast really as a part two, because some of you all may have forgotten that over a year and some change ago, that's me live. I was making sure I was live. Over a year and some change ago, I did a broadcast exposing how Angela Rye showed her tail and really got dog walked on the Breakfast Club, as she normally does. That's a normal thing for them over there. Yes? Talk black to me, somebody. Coolly. Oh, you looking good, Miss Vicki. Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you for your kind words and compliments. So she got humiliated and embarrassed. And of course, that's what takes place. You know, when you're a tool for white supremacy, when you saw yourself to be D1, as I say, instead of B1. Now, how many of you all know that amongst the Black grassroots, there's a phrase that we tend to use that says B1. B1 stands for Black first. I say no, they're D1, because a lot of your Black-looking Democrats like to be accepted amongst the Democratic Party. Yes? And they will put the interest of the party over the interest of Black people in general. Do you hear what I'm saying? And so that's why I say a lot of those Black-looking folks are D1 and not B1. And that's a problem, It's a problem because it means that when the anti-Black, anti-reparations, Black looking voices that are Democrats, when they come against us, that means that your Black looking folks will justify their racism. They will justify their diabolical positions because they're Democrat. But if the Republican does the same exact thing, they'll expose that. They'll come against that. You understand? So that's the reason why we tell you all, it doesn't make sense for you to put your geopolitical position, your political status, your socioeconomic position, your religious status, your political status above being Black first. Because some of y'all lose your mind. Your mental, the mental stuff goes awry, wrong direction, starts malfunctioning. All of us, it gets dangerous when some of y'all start thinking in the wrong way. Sparks start flying and other people around you get hurt when you start thinking wrong. Talk black to me. Y'all know the Vicki show is the home of the hand claps and the gavel raps. Yes, Brother Warren, dog walk. This should get dog walk. Just like other Democrats that get dog walk. And I've defended some of the folks that got dog walk and they end up turning against me. Talk black to me. Like Tamika Mallory, I always consider Tamika, to be, a good sister, even if we disagreed on some stuff. This was years and years ago. And then, she sided and did some other little stuff or whatever, started acting weird. And I was just like, ma'am, it ain't even that crucial. And then when she got on The View some years ago, how many of y'all know about The View? She got on The View some years ago. And the daughter of a war criminal, Meghan McCain. How many of y'all remember Meghan McCain when she was on there? Meghan McCain was the reason why a lot of folks was watching the View in the first place, even though she's a weirdo. But her daddy is a war criminal. He's passed now. John McCain. Y'all know about that, right? Well, I was defending Tamika because when Tamika got on there, Meghan McCain made her look totally foolish. I mean, she dog walked Tamika so bad. And then Tamika ended up getting hemmed up with some of her speaking engagements and some other stuff because white Jewish people, started to mess with Tamika's career, stop her speaking engagements and other stuff, if I remember correctly. Well, when she went on The View, Tamika, Meghan McCain just made a total fool of her and in defense of the Zi0nist folk. So I did a broadcast defending Tamika. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure. I mean, she ended up, I don't know, just blocking me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was defending the girl. And I did such an effective job on humiliating Meghan McCain that Meghan McCain got mad at me and blocked me. So Meghan McCain and some of your Black looking people got a lot of stuff in common. So the View people mad at me because of the broadcast that I did some years ago on some other networks, alternative networks that I helped to build and grow and bring credibility to. I was so effective that even the white girl was mad at me and yeah, well, they worried about little Vicki Dillard. But I had to remind folks of who Meghan McCain is. She's the blood of a war criminal. So I had to go with that angle. And I was trying to defend Tamika. And they turned against me, baby. Talk black to me. Some of y'all don't know the history. It's history. It's real. It's really real. Shout out to my sister, Miss Sharifa, in the chat. Nikki said, sister with the curly braids. That's right, baby. Sister with the curly braids. So I don't have, even when I disagree with certain Black folks or whatever, it's not about nothing personal. You understand? But then when she acknowledged, a message that I sent her, and I told her, sis, even though we disagree on some stuff, blah, 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 girl, I guess they didn't care, girl, and just did their own little thing and stuff. Even though, I was trying to, just whatever, they don't, whatever. I don't know, people just be mad about Vicki Dillard over here, baby. The white supremacists, the View, all of them, child. But anyway, some of y'all may or may not know that history, so I had to remind y'all of that. So, Angela Rye, let me get back to my topic. Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross and them, Andrew Gillum, all of those are Democratic rejects in one form or another. Angela Rye used to be on CNN. She used to work for Capitol Hill, in DC and stuff. All that's lost. She feels useless because those things don't happen anymore. CNN, I guess, didn't bring Angela back. MSNBC, Tiffany Cross. I think Tiffany was a professor, an associate professor. She taught somewhere in some university. I guess she probably thought that was a highlight of destiny or something. I don't know. Manifest destiny here. I don't know. Whatever your unique destiny is, baby, I don't be tripping about what people believe they're called to do. Whatever it was, she probably thought that an extension of her life destiny was to have a show on MSNBC. Tiffany got a little weekend show on MSNBC. She thought she was a star. And she used her platform, Tiffany, to tell her audience not to listen to voices like ours. And she called out some of us by name. So when she had that platform, she told her audience, do not listen to us. And she called out, for example, our brother Tariq Nasheed. Yes? So these are Black looking people that try to silence us. You see? Now, Tiffany got fired from MSNBC. I'm doing a quick recap for those of you that have not been following stuff. Some of y'all be coming on here thinking that you be knowing. You don't be knowing. Or your mind don't work together to where you can put together thoughts. So when I say something, you think you're smarter than me, or you think other people know better. So I have to remind you all. And these are people that have high-level positions that don't have jobs. Now, somebody say they don't have jobs. Or the jobs they had, they lost. So they feel devastated. They feel useless. They thought that they were something because they get to say, oh, I'm on MSNBC. Oh, I'm on CNN. But the people fired them. You see? Same with Roland. Roland can't keep my name out of his mouth. But Roland to this day would roll back into the spaces of CNN if they took him back. But they don't want him. Every time he rolls that way, they treat him like a kickball, like soccer, and kick him right back out the realm of the cable news. And by the way, some of y'all, y'all crazy. Why did some of y'all was messaging me, told me that Charlemagne the God the other day, I guess a few days ago, was on his podcast trying to act like that him and Roland are beefing. And y'all know we've been going off on Roland for years. I have personally, for sure. So, and Roland can't keep my name out of his mouth, so I got to put him in his place because he was cussing out my people. So that's the reason why I first came for Roland. And Roland, like the juicy, gooey, dewy ball that he is, he emerged from the rejected parts of the underworld. Y'all know the history of him. I've given you the history. Y'all know for years I've told you the etymology of Roland's name. Well, one of the words that I told you that his name derives from, Roland, the root word Roland, R-O, is in the family of words with the word Roland, rotund, round. Talk back to me, somebody. How many of y'all know that I was the one that told you Roland? His name is in the family of words of round, rotund, and I'm missing one of the others, right? Well, one of y'all told me, some of y'all sent me start commenting on my page, and some of y'all started sending me the proof that Charlemagne gonna use the word rotund on his broadcast, but didn't. But y'all, and some of y'all said, well, why is he sitting here copying? Well, yes, that's what he do. That's what he does. How Black to be? Yes, they Black looking, baby. They're not Black and for real. They Black looking. Talk Black to me. So, yes, round, rotund, and rolling. Thank you, Brother Warren. That's my brother. He always held my back. Talk Black to me, somebody. So, I've been talking about that for years. And so, y'all know that it's not possible for it to be a runoff. It's not normal. Nobody comes up with the phrase just on their own, rotund for rolling, right? So I guess his co-host or whoever, because I don't know the lady like that, because I don't be watching the show like this unless I'm forced to watch when they broadcast. When y'all hear me cover Breakfast Club, it's because people bring stuff to my attention or something comes across my desk to where I have to discuss it like I am today. So he's going to use the word rotund. So this is what they do. They like to listen in the corner somewhere to what I'm saying and doing, and then turn around and use it on their platforms. Or they bring in topics or people or do things so that they can remain relevant, even if they disagree with stuff. But they know that's going to pull in the attention that they need to keep their numbers and to give the appearance that they're credible. We know they're not credible. We know they're not influential. Why? Because all the positions that they had about us voting for Kamala, all the positions that they had about us voting for the Democrats, all the positions that they had related to being pro-Democrat Senate, pro-Democrat House Representative, they lost all of those. See? Just like Simone Sanders. Simone thought she was a star. Simone used to work for Bernie Sanders' campaign. She turned around and spit in the face of those folks because she was just trying to level up and get a position. So she was just trying to pretend she was liberal for real. And so she ended up, the people got mad at her because she ended up being a senior advisor for Joe Biden's campaign. How many of y'all remember that? So all the people, the liberals, the Black liberals and the white liberals was mad at her trying to say, well, how you going to go from Bernie to anti-Black Joe Biden? See, even they know that they anti-Black, but then they pretend like they're not once they get in their camps, you see? So she was like, she was like, ma'am, I don't care about none of y'all's position. I'm finna level up in life. So she said that, baby, I'm no exception. I forget what little country she's from. Little country town she's from. Is it Nebraska? I guess she said, honey, I'm from Nebraska. I am fixing to twitch my hips right on into the White House. And she went on Joe Biden's campaign. He ended up winning, as you all know. Now, when she was running for his campaign, how many of y'all know about the linebackers? Somebody put some footballs in. Somebody put some footballs in the chat. Brother Warren said they lost big. Yes, they did lose big, real big. And why do I keep bringing it up? Because y'all keep listening to them like they're running something. Nobody's listening to them. That's what influence is. Influence is not on the disheveled, lackluster, and quickly declining mainstream news institutions and media. Do y'all understand that? Joy Reid was dogging us for years. She had a main show on MSNBC. Where does Joy Reid currently work at MSNBC? Is Joy also fired? You see how all the people that think that you're supposed to worship and glorify them, all the people that brag, because Joy kept saying how she's a genius, not a genius, how she's a nerd and she's this and she's that. All these folks like to brag about the colleges and universities that they went to. All of them are losers without the jobs they desire. Mark Lamonte Hill. Mark Lamonte Hill was a professor at a college, right? I think he may still be a co-owner of a library, maybe the full owner of a library or something. He was on Fox News for some years. He was on, I think for some years. He was on CNN and all the major cable places. They fired his funny looking self. I got into some spats with Mark Lamonte Hill and was right and caught him in lies. These are who y'all call black elites. They're not elite. I have never, ever, ever, as I keep saying, I have never, ever, 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 never, 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 ever, never, ever, 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 never, 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 ever accused none of them of being smart. I have never accused them of being intelligent. Never accused them of that. Never, ever accuse him of that. I don't just throw out false charges. Social charges. But you all understand. Back to Simone real quick. I'm just using 4, 5, 6 black looking, prominent looking people that was in spaces with, whether they were White House folk, all that. I'm trying to show you all how they're losers, but y'all keep relying on them like they smart. They not. Like they powerful, they not. All the positions and stuff that they did to build up to something, they lost it. Somebody say loser. Somebody say loser. Somebody said, beautifully said, not the disheveled lackluster, baby. I said disheveled, lackluster. Y'all know how I get down over here, baby. Yes, baby. It's disheveled and lackluster and loser. So this is what make them think that they smarter than me, because I can do all that. I can sit before a Robert F. Kennedy presidential candidate and shake him up so bad to where Robert F. Kennedy and his whole team, how many of y'all saw that video that went viral before the election, where I was sitting face to face with him? They wouldn't hear from nobody else after I was done with him. Nobody. Yes, I can sit before them, strongly put them in their place. I can be on other networks and broadcasts, and I can be with you. And I can teach powerful schools. I can talk about politics and geopolitics. That's you putting me in a little itty bitty box, a little bit. That's not how you get real influence, weirdo. So, Vicki, get to your point. So these black looking people are really, really upset because they're losing these positions. Now, real quick back to Simone. And then I'm gonna tell you why I'm talking about this today. Now, Simone, after she flipped the script, she stopped working for she was on Bernie Sanders' campaign because they thought she was really down about that life of Democrat and liberalism. She wasn't. She's about that position life, which, girl, I ain't mad at you. Girl, do your little thing. So when she started working with Joe Biden's campaign. Before he won, she was out there on the campaign trail with him. He was giving a speech just as crazy as ever. And a non-violent, non-threatening dairy protester came up on the stage with a placard protesting like non-dairy stuff or something. because that non-dairy protester got close to Joe Biden, Simone used all of her voluptuous energy and body to protect Joe Biden from nothing. Now, she went overboard with physical protection to yank that white non-dairy protester off the stage because she was trying to show Joe Biden and his wife that she was really about that life and she was wanting to be in the running, the top running for press secretary. How many of y'all know that? Y'all remember that? How many of y'all remember that? So when I call her a football player or linebacker, which I don't even know all the words good in sports because I'm not like that with sports, it's certainly not because I'm making fun of her actual voluptuous body. I'm saying that you don't use your voluptuous body, misuse it for no permanent white supremacy. You're going to get this word. So because of how aggressively she jiggled for a white supremacist, I had to say, ma'am, you cannot be, no. Black women don't misuse the glory for that. No. And to top all that off, she has long nails kind of like mine, right? When she did that aggressive football gyration, whatever the hell that was, it was aggressive, and she yanked the girl off the stage. She didn't let Secret Service jump in. She didn't let the security people jump in. Whoever the security people, she said, no, I got this. So that was a gesture to Joe Biden. Don't you put nobody before me. Make sure you remember this so I can be press secretary. Remember, that's why she was doing all this, so she could get that job, thinking she was truly in the line for press secretary. Now, if you follow my work on all these different places I was on, how many of y'all know I prophesied her destiny long before it happened to tell her, ma'am, you're not going to get that job? How many of y'all know that before Joe Biden won, it was clear and known that that's why she was doing what she was doing to get a high position in the White House? She thought she really was going to be press secretary. I was like, ma'am, they not going to do that for you. No, it's in nobody's cards. No, that's not going to happen. You jiggling and you trying to defend his life with your actual body, ma'am, because she wanted, see, that's black folks, we can, our genius is so much, we do too much in the wrong direction. Do you understand? So she used her body, all that voluptuous Nebraska goddess body, to defend a white supremacist. And back to my point, on top of that, to top all of that off, she keep her nails almost about the length of mine. She had the nerve to break a nail for this white supremacist. How many of y'all know that's a major sign of illness? Something is really, really wrong with you. You need to be admitted somewhere. You need to be up on somebody's couch or maybe locked up. If you break a nail for a white supremacist, somebody put a nail in the chat. No black woman in her right mind is about to do that. There's some kind of dysfunction. So illness creeping in on you. Possession. Something. So she did all that. And the point of me doing it, that's why I call her a football player, because that move she did. Now, when I was trying to describe the move, I had to show the public the clip because some of y'all was in disbelief, like there ain't no way she did that. When y'all saw the clip of Simone thinking that she was finna get this press secretary job, how many of y'all remember that? Thinking that she was finna get a press secretary job, how many of y'all know she was humiliated? Let me see if I can find it. Is this it? Is this it? I think this is it. It's been a minute since I've had to pull this up, the humiliation of it all. Is this it? And again, why did she do it, family? She did it because she wanted Joe Biden to remember that she was willing to put her body on the line for him to win. Okay, this might be it. Okay, watch this. Y'all gotta look real close to the screen. I'm gonna try to get my thing up way close to the screen. Some of y'all don't believe this. Look close, because there's a lot of action going on, a lot of jiggling and stuff. And the neighbors, we come from the crib. Look. Look at Simone. Look at Simone. Look at her. Y'all see her? Ma'am. 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 No. No, we don't do that. No. No. That was a cry for help, what she did. Letitia Robinson, your gift is, oh, I didn't mean to say your whole name. Your gift is blessed 1,000-fold blessing. The notice just came through. Look at this. I'm trying to show y'all. Look. To the U.S. Watch this again. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. By the way, family, I'm going to have a free, somebody had the nerve to say, Vicki, I've been waiting for you to do this. Y'all got some nerve. I'm doing a free webinar. Literally, it's happening in a few days. It's on the 24th, Monday, the 24th. You just got a few days to save your free seat. It's a free webinar I'm doing. First come, first serve, family. Secure your seat today. The link is pinned at the top. It's a free ancestors webinar. I'm going to talk about how the blood libel of our ancestors is actually connected to the economy. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now economically, right? There's a lot of stuff that's happening with the US dollar, the so-called de-dollarization. There's a lot going on as it relates to tariffs. There's a lot going on as it relates to inflation. There's a lot certainly going on to the stalling of our reparations, right? I'm going to talk about the metaphysical nature of our ancestors. And some of us were made to believe that it was actually diabolical, demonic, satanic to honor our ancestors. Well, you're a little weirdo. How many of y'all know that's a slick devil that slipped that up to make you think spiritually that something is wrong with that? And even somebody else, when I was talking about that the other day, somebody else commented somewhere, oh, Vicki, I'm trying to fix my lipstick. Somebody commented the other day talking about, well, Vicki, is a difference between honoring your ancestors and idolizing. How if you don't sit your funny looking self down, I'm going to break all that down later. Some people be thinking they know, they don't be knowing. And the Jesus that you claim that you know from 2,000 years ago is still stalled. I'm saying this as someone that was deeply entrenched in the church with multiple denominations and a lot of spiritual and biblical training over the years. And I understand that they've got a stronghold of hell attached to you. So you're afraid to even say such things because you consider it to be on the level of blasphemy if you say anything contrary. But I'm trying to let you all know I would never intentionally put your soul in a particular position. But if you say through your scriptures that your Holy Spirit is supposed to lead and guide you into all truth, and when it comes down to truth and facts, you reject it, that means that your faith can't go there. That means something wrong with your faith because you can't take it. You can't take it. You can't take it. Something is wrong. So at least listen to the information to absorb it, then take it to your Holy Ghost and see what they say after that. Your ancestors, most of them, many of them, their understanding of quote unquote hell and rapture is not what it is modern times. The modern notion of even the rapture, the study and the topic of end times, eschatology is off, and it's influenced by a white supremacist imperialist twist to doctrine. Some of you all know that some of the teachings with some of your mainstream little Christian teachers, whatever the denomination is now, they start talking to you about pre-trib, trib, and post-trib. What the hell is that? The hell is that? The hell is that? Pre-trib, post-trib, trib. They all confused. I'm going to talk to you about the nature of your ancestors. And I'm going to show you in no limit of time how it's a trick. And how it's a trick because it keeps you bound and it keeps you from experiencing your heaven on earth. Do you understand? Who just gave this gift? Your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. First class citizen. The origins of religion is ancestry. Yes, it is. And it's just not any kind of ancestors. It's Black ancestry. I got Muslims mad at me. They're trying to check and correct me. Got Christians mad at me. I got Vedic people mad at me. Got all kind of people mad at me. I know I'm onto something. Get your seat above. And for those that has also been asking, I've been seeing some of you register already for my higher end Isis Goddess Mystery Temple. That's for my women only. That's a 90-day course. I'm going to talk to you about for 90 days about how we use our feminine energy on a high level to magnetize and to manifest the life of our dreams. It's going to change your world, and you have the power to change the world. My sisters know that attended my first one that I did some time back. They know that their lives will never be the same, and I'm going to take it further. And you don't want to miss this, so be sure to make the investment for yourself. And there will be installment options at checkout. Also, for my brothers, I have a men's only course that's 60 days about providing and protecting. Brothers, you are a man. Men don't make excuses. They don't sit in corners of obscure other men on the internet complaining about women because they feel like they can't provide. They don't make a whole bunch of excuses and talk about all the stipulations and qualifications that a woman needs to be before she takes her to McDonald's. Real men don't do that. Real men, even if they don't have all the answers, they step up for the challenge. And for the men that are really about that life of providing and protecting, and maybe you feel like that you don't know exactly how to do that, or maybe you feel stalled, and maybe you feel insecure, maybe you feel like that you're not measuring up, so you lash out, so you put all these qualifications for a woman to lower her standard because you can't meet it. Instead of being that hater, tell the truth to yourself and join my private course so that you can have the spiritual edge. Vicki does not go around making herself think that she's the top business entrepreneurial corporate stock expert. That's not why I'm there. That's not what I'm there to do. I'm a prophetess. So I give you prophetic word and insight. I channel information. And my divine spiritual cord has given me direct information for the men that choose to listen and make the proper investment in themselves to get the supernatural edge. When you get the supernatural edge, it's going to actually affect your natural life. So for my men that want to make that investment in themselves for 60 days, two major things we're going to talk about: providing and protecting. You can go to my website and get that information as well. Yes, Miss Zi0nist, oh my goodness, your $50 gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Y'all do not be playing about these gifts. Your gift is blessed, my dear sister, 1,000-fold. My sister Zi0nist, boy, she has been a long time supporter of mine. In fact, she was one of the ones that called me a Candace. And some of you, I may not know what a Candace is. I'm going to leave that there and let somebody else tell you exactly what that is. My sister has always honored me with that. So the link is above, and my moderators are also putting the link in the chat for my free webinar. So I got 3 different things I'm talking about. Free webinar coming up next week on the 24th, Secure Your Seat Today. That's an ancestor webinar where I'm going to be talking about how we activate and we tap into our ancestor privileges so that we can manifest destiny. That's one. That's free. That's next week, the 24th. Get your free seat. And then the other 2 are my high-end courses, one for just men with the emphasis on providing and protecting, spiritual tips. And the other for women only, 90-day course. And again, for some of you all, there'll be installment options at checkout. Yes, all of this at my website at VickiPlanet.com. Can somebody put my website in the chat? One of my moderators put my website in the chat for me. Because if you go to my website, you will see all of the clicks, all the links to where you can go to where you can register for my free webinar coming up next week. You'll see the link for my women's only Academy Mystery School, and then you'll see the link for my men's only. Yes, so if somebody can put that up, I need the actual link, Precious. Let me see. I'll pin what you put so far, but see if you can copy and paste the actual link, and then I can post that. Thank you so much, beloved. And Sister Zi0nist, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Now, family, thank you. That's it, Precious. Somebody say shout out to Miss Sharifa. She always had my back for many years. I don't care where I was, what platforms I was. Okay, looks like it's pinned at the top. So anything, all those things I'm talking about now, just go to my website and you'll be able to see it there. Y'all, look at the screen real close now to Simone Sanders. Look, one more time. I'm going to try to get the thing way up because it's a lot going on. It's a lot of people. That's why I told you have to look at the screen real good to see the football play. Miss Zi0nist, did you just give another $50 gift? Wow. To my super effective. Your gifts, plural, are blessed 1,000-fold. Thank you so much, my beloved sister. Y'all look. Here we go. Look. In the neighborhoods we come from, the crib. Look at Simone, y'all. Look at Simone.
We're gonna go. Look, the middle class are getting clobbered.
Somebody say football. Y'all, I've been talking about that ever since she did it a few years ago. And I was like, what kind of stuff? Only I could think of when I saw it was football. So I was asking some of my people years ago, what do I call that? And I said linebackers, whatever. And then y'all, look, one of y'all, because I was talking about all the wrongness of it. Just football don't mix with politics like that. And so it was so much wrong. I was just trying to come up with words. I mean, speechless about all that. Like, don't do that ever. On no occasion. Don't shake, don't twitch, don't twirl, don't use your body. And damn it, don't break no nail for no white supremacists. Watch this. So one of y'all, because I said, y'all, what about these football terms? I said, y'all, what do we even call this? One of y'all was like, she need to be penalized. Y'all ready for this? For unnecessary roughness. Oh, family. Whoever said that, I need to give them a big old cash app. Family. I said, y'all, because I was just throwing out any and all kind of football terms. One of y'all was feeling me so good. Y'all said the penalty, Vicki, is called unnecessary roughness. So I put unnecessary roughness in the chat. Oh, child. Somebody put unnecessary roughness, honey. That was just all of that was just all the way not right. Look, I didn't even have to know about the details of the language. I understood that penalty real good. When the brother said unnecessary, I said, yes, bro, it's unnecessary roughness. Somebody said that was just unnecessary. Why am I bringing up that humiliation? All of this humiliation is important. Why? Because before Joe Biden won, we told Simone, ma'am, we know you're doing all that because you think you're going to be press secretary. We told her, prophesy her destiny. It's not going to happen. Watch this. Simone, how many of y'all remember when Simone got on Joe Biden's campaign, she basically told black men to shut up. That they basically weren't smart and they shouldn't be chiming in on politics. She got into it with Uncle Luke about something he actually said at the time that was right. Now, Uncle Luke go in and out of consciousness. Some of the stuff he said just be like, shut up. Other stuff, it'd be like, okay, something to that. But one day he said something that was something to it. He actually wrote an op-ed piece in a Florida newspaper, if I remember correctly. It's been some years ago since I covered that. Literally a few years ago. So he did an op-ed piece in a Florida newspaper, I believe, talking about why folks, black men in particular, and black folks in general, won't be voting for Kamala real strong, because that's when Kamala was still in the race. She was mad about that. And of course, y'all know that Joe Biden ended up bringing Kamala on his ticket as VP, right? So Simone was mad that he said that in the newspaper. So she basically dogged him, disrespected him by basically saying that he was stupid. He was not, basically on that level, he shouldn't be talking. And then she made a general comment and said how basically black men in general, she's tired of their unsolicited opinions. So she was basically telling black men to shut up. So I reamed her, got on her about that too. Again, she was doing all this thinking she was going to be press secretary. Ma'am, we told her in advance, that's not going to happen. Somebody just said that they remembered. Yes. She thought she was doing all that, y'all. Dogged the black community, did linebacking, got penalized for unnecessary roughness, for amalgamating and cocktailing sports and politics and breaking nails for white supremacists, which none of that go together. Thinking she was going to be press secretary. What happened? She got in the White House. Boy, she thought she was something, didn't she? She was twitching and twirling, had heels and nails, and thought she was going to be something. After the previous girl, the press secretary, was it Jen Psaki, was the press secretary. Jen Psaki, I think her name was getting ready to leave. So Simone just knew she was going to be up for it. What happened? She got humiliated. All that linebacking and jiggling and shaking and nail breaking was all for naught. How many of y'all know she was so humiliated they put her to work somewhere in the corner for Kamala? She was so upset. Y'all remember that she ended up leaving the White House. And I guess some of her little Democratic operatives like Bakari Sellers and all them, remember they came out trying to defend her and dogging Joe Biden and them for not choosing her for press secretary. Miss Cynthia, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. She said, hey, beautiful, brilliant queen. Jazzy Jasmine Crockett was here in Detroit, and the word was that she was shilling tough for them Democrats. Yes, honey, she won't stop. That's the only thing. They be confusing her sassiness, which I believe in some sass, but the sass got to be in the right direction. When you do sass for anti-black Democrats, you can't, I can't get with you. The other stuff you're doing is just using your misusing your blackness for them. And I can't get with that. That's a shame. Somebody said Vicki into sports at 3:13 to go unnecessary. Y'all the one told me that. I was using sports terms, but hell, my mind wasn't on that till y'all was like, this is what it is. I was like, thank you. I've been using it ever since. That's an unnecessary roughness, baby. Talk black to me. Who is this? Z Ali. Oh, your gift is blessed, Z Ali, 1,000-fold. Y'all ain't playing today. Watch this. So I done got all the way off, y'all. The half the broadcast is over with, and we still over here talking. Talk black this about this. I had to lay the groundwork. I'm just trying to show you all the people, whether they worked in the White House. Talk black to me, y'all. Whether they worked on MSNBC, CNN, all these folks, they ended up being wrong. People end up, the streets were more in line with Vicki's commentary than they were with all of their commentary. Do y'all understand? They have a track record of losing. Somebody say losing. Watch this. Why am I bringing this up? Well, it came across my desk, a recent clip. Now, y'all saw me the other day on my channel here, right? Everybody be sure to hit that thumbs up button, share. Let me pull it up. Y'all saw, or did you see? Y'all saw, I'm coming to my channel. If you go, oh, okay, so it was a week ago. So 7 days ago, because y'all know I did an interview with Brother Abdul Muhammad. Y'all make sure that you watch my latest live video that I did. It's almost 2 hours. I brought him on to talk about the latest thing that took place with Chicago and his case against them railroading him, right? So y'all watch it. That's from 5 days ago. I'm looking at my list now. Well, the one that I did 2 days before that is the one that I did on Angela Rye. Y'all see this one?
You know, I'm not calling him dumb. I'm saying you don't have to speak ignorantly because you're old. But he got his beliefs, though. I've been to the main moment.
Did y'all hear that? Trick. Y'all see what I call her, what I be calling her? Now, that's one I just did a week ago, y'all, where I was reminding folks that some time back, Angela Rye called Minister Farrakhan dumb and a bigot.
Because he's pretending to be something he's not. And when you're pretending to be something...
And she called him dumb and a bigot. Do y'all remember why she called him dumb and a bigot? Because she came out, Angela Rye, to defend the white members of the Zionist Jewish community against Minister Farrakhan. Do y'all understand? Z, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Thank you, precious. But yes, watch this. So today, I want you all to see today basically as a part 2 to that, okay? Yes, watch this. Now, why? But I got to remind y'all of what took place during the election. How many of you all, so y'all remember the other day is when I showed you all the footage. Somebody say the footage. I showed you the actual receipts of her sitting there dogging Minister Farrakhan so that she could defend white Jewish people, right? Okay? So, called him dumb and big, and she's not the only one. I've gone off on a lot of folks for doing a lot of weird stuff. Now, how many of you all know I exposed a few years ago the fact that a high-level former Israeli consul, which is a high-level governmental position that deals with diplomats and embassies and all that, she, a few years ago, a high-level Israeli official, government official, said that the enemy and the threat to her country were Black American youth. I want to see if you all can find the footage, and it might be out there, but I haven't seen it. Can you all find me the footage and the receipts of Angela Rye, Jamil Hill, Mark Lamonte Hill, and all the others calling for the Israelis and Netanyahu's people and the Zionists demanding a hearing because they said that they're the number one enemy to their country, that one of the enemies to their country are Black American youth. Can you all find the footage of Angela and the rest of them fools demanding a hearing and demanding accountability for them? Can you all find the footage of her defending and calling them out of their names for me, please? And then we met the internet. Whoever has that tag said, please hit that like button, family, ASAP. They're absolutely right. Hit that like button, beloved. Vonnie said there ain't none. That's exactly right, beloved. I don't think it is either. I could be wrong, but I'm waiting for the receipts of them calling them folks dumb and a bigot. I'm looking for the footage of Angela Rye, Jamil Hill. I'm looking for all the Black-looking operatives calling out Netanyahu and his people and demanding a hearing because they said Black American youth are a threat to their country. They did that way before October 7th. Miss Sharifa said that'll never happen with them bootlicks. Can somebody please find me the footage of them cussing out, dogging out, calling them folks names, please, right now for me? Send me the link. Maybe it exists. I hadn't seen it. She said, just even demand an apology. Yeah, find me I'll be willing to look at the footage too of one just saying an apology too. Even though that's not enough. But I understand what you're saying. Miss Cynthia says she can't find it. You all understand my point. Well, after I went off on them the other day, some of y'all went off on them too, right? Not only that, the public started to give how many of y'all know Joe Budden? Joe Budden has a big black podcast, right? Well, he apparently called out Angela Ryan and them, Tiffany Cross and them show Native Land because when they did a broadcast recently, they basically was trying to act like Mark Lamont Hill coming to Joe Budden's podcast was beneath him. They kept talking about how he's so intellectual, and Tiffany Cross was basically saying that there's a war against the Black intellectuals, talking about themselves, because we don't want to hear them, because they are useless and pathetic and pitiful, and they're not really smart. She's still under the illusion. Somebody say the illusion. She's under the illusion and the delusion. She is hallucinated, intoxicated, high something to believe that they actually are in the class of the Black elites. So she feels like it's a war on Black folks like her, like the Tiffany Crosses of the world, like the Angela Ryes of the world, like the Andrew Gillums of the world. All of them, they feel like that because the average man and woman don't feel influenced by them anymore. She feels there's a war on them. Did y'all hear what I said? Well, after they were exposed for what I've always said their attitude was. Why? Because Tiffany Cross, when she was on MSNBC, she told her audience not to even listen to us. Remember, she was mocking Black folks before the election when she was seeing footage of Black folks talk about how they need to hold the Democrats accountable. She was saying she didn't even believe some of the footage she was seeing. How many of y'all know I told you all that on their podcast, it was brought to my attention that Tiffany was saying, well, first of all, just so y'all know, in addition to all the other many people, that's the absolute nobodies, why they so triggered by Vicki Dillard, I went on there today because I saw this clip of her recently on Revolt, talking to a Revolt person. And so they tagged Tiffany in it because Tiffany is in the video. This is just the other day, a couple days, a week or two ago. So this is what it showed on Instagram. Do y'all know what that means when you see that on Instagram? So I'm looking at a video about Revolt because the girl, the Tiffany is on the video. So Revolt TV tagged Tiffany in it, and this was on there for me, for Tiffany. Now, mind you, Essence Magazine blocked me too. Why did Essence block Vicki? Because a couple of years ago, Essence sued during the Essence Fest a Black iconic library talking about something to do with them using the Essence Fest name for something or another, even though they in New Orleans on their stomping ground. They sued the black company. So I did back-to-back lives exposing Essence Magazine. Essence Magazine responded to me on one of the social media platforms. Y'all, we caused such a stir. Now, there was other people, to be fair, there was other people that was criticizing them, but Essence Magazine wasn't moved by those other people's criticism. It was when we got involved, when I got involved, and then I got some of y'all involved, that they got a level of attention that they did not want with the average man and woman, with the black grassroots. When the black grassroots got involved, watch this, before the weekend was out, after my back-to-back broadcast, what did they do? They sent out a letter saying that they had requested that black company be removed from the lawsuit. After that, Essence blocked me because I was standing for black folks. So you all got MSNBC folks blocking me. Y'all got the former White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, the one that ended up getting the job that Simone thought she was going to get. That lady blocked me on a couple of platforms. So you got all these different weirdos. I don't troll their pages. I don't be studying their funny looking self. Just like in this instance with Tiffany, like I have to be doing research or looking at something and I click on something and that's how I find out. Oh, they. So then there's other black publications too. That's how you know we shouldn't be listening to them. You know why we shouldn't be listening to them? You know why you're getting karma? You know why you losing influence, fool? Because how you going to block the voice like mine of the average man and woman, the black grassroots, and think that you're supposed to be respected, fool? Do you all feel like that they feel less than because they have to be in similar spaces as me? LaRon Muhammad, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. Do you all understand that? I said, do you all understand that? They're still believing that being on CNN and MSNBC is nostalgic, epic. So even if the numbers are in the trash and in the toilet, they still get to just say, I'm on there, or was. So because that's over with, the way they retaliate is hit block. I guess to do something for their mental health. When they hit the button, it make them feel like they've overcome. They defeated me in some way. Brother Warren said, what did you say? He said, these fools think that if they block you, you disappear. Right. But you know, someone worked behind the scenes to make sure I disappear. Just like Revolt TV, the very clip I'm going to show you, that network reached out to me to come do some stuff. And then they turned around and did something different. They end up bringing some other black voices on because they must have got a call, allegedly, that they're not supposed to bring on Vicki Dillard. See, it's my energy. See, when y'all be out there thinking that you can copycat, because some of y'all weren't even doing what you're doing until you saw Vicki Dillard do it. And it's cool, it's fine. But what trips me out is when y'all go out y'all way to make sure that under no circumstance do you ever think that you supposed to support somebody like me publicly. Behind the scenes, they go, let me try to steal her ideas and do this and do. Child, sit down. I'm on the planet to influence. But it's just funny when you see people that they know they get their life from you, but they want to keep a distance to make it look like they ain't got nothing to do with you. That'd be so funny for me. Watch this. So after everybody started dogging Tiffany Cross, dogging Angela Rye, they didn't really dog Andrew Gillum too much, even though he's on that podcast, because he had enough sense to say he don't know enough about Joe Budden's show to be discussing it. So he did what's right by not putting no 2 cents in. Tiffany and Angela was feeling themselves because they feel elite. They feel above us. So they felt like that Dr. Mark Lamont Hill going on that podcast was beneath him. Do y'all understand where I'm going with this, right? So Revolt TV, a week or so ago, oh, where's my clip? They asked Tiffany about that, right? Is this it?
And they don't see it as a safe space. They believe they're
okay. Yeah, this is it.
Talk a little bit about
y'all. Watch this, okay? So this is a lady, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a lot about this lady. I'm gonna go to her page. Her name is. Look, I shouldn't even try to pronounce her name. It looks like it might be. I don't know. Vinay is the last name. Look like. Maybe you all know who she is. I don't keep up with the network like that. But whoever this lady is, look like her name is maybe Lene Vani. Again, I might be butchering her name. I'm not trying to. I honest to goodness don't, for real. I'm not being funny. I'm not throwing no shade. I really don't be watching them people like that. But I saw the clip. And that's when I went and looked into her and realized, oh, she is one of the people, the contributors on Revolt. Well, she was interviewing Tiffany Cross a few days ago, right? A week or two ago. And said, hey, there's been backlash, talking about the backlash that they got from Joe Budden, where Tiffany and them trying to act like that you know, they too good to, you know, for Dr. Mark Lamont Hill to go there and stuff. So they got a lot of backlash.
I am your target audience.
So watch this. Y'all listening? Somebody said the truth can't be silence, giving them that word. Somebody else said, Vicki, your hand scared me a second. Thought it was a face hugger. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about right there, baby. Okay, but listen. So watch this brief couple of second clip on this lady from Revolt asking Tiffany about her comments, that controversial comments that the Native Land, because don't nobody watch Native Land like they want them to watch. Sometimes they be getting views sometimes. But when you come off of MSNBC like they did, when you come off of CNN, they supposed to be light years ahead of folks like us. So when they get a few views, when they get a few 10,000 views, they feel like a loser. You see? Feminine, your gift is blessed. It says it's your energy and knowledge that they fear. But it's the number one thing we love and respect about. Oh, that's so sweet. That's right. What is it? Femi 753, your gift is blessed. And thank you for your precious comments. You're absolutely right. All of you that are giving your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. You all are so precious. Okay, family. So watch this quick clip. So this just happened. I literally, like, whenever they put this, I literally just saw it today. I ain't even gonna lie. So that's when I went and looked into the lady to figure out who she was, where this clip came from, right? Okay, here it is, y'all. Watch real quick. Y'all listen to what she gonna ask Tiffany.
And so I get the vibes. I'm your audience. I am your target audience. Joe and his friends don't seem to think that. There was a conversation with them on their show recently, sort of calling you guys out about your conversations about anti-intellectualism, and they don't see it as a safe space. They believe there's a divide, and I just want, if you saw those clips, number one, and then if you did, what you thought about the conversation they had.
I've only seen clips that people sent me, but I understand they did an entire segment, and I have every intention of watching the entire segment because I'm curious what they had to say. But I do think it's a really important conversation for us to have, because on the show, the point that I was trying to make is that there is an anti-intellectual movement ravaging the Black community. And that is true. And a part of that movement includes things like social media, AI. And yes, it does also include this very toxic podcast bro landscape.
No, Trig, no. Do you all hear that? I said, do you all hear her? She said there's an anti-intellectual movement that's happening on AI and social media. This is the other thing. How many of y'all remember me doing exclusive offline webinars about the COVID stuff over the past few years? How many of you all know that even when I was on some of the other platforms related to, like, Dr. Boys, which I'm not anymore, Fly Nubian Queen, Your Black World, and other interrelated networks and stuff like that. How many of you all know I brought on, I was the one that came up with the idea in the first place, and I actually pitched it to him. They didn't move on it. So I ended up moving on my own to do the first one. I brought in Brother Zi0nist Islam for the first one. I did another one, Brother Zi0nist, some long time later. I did one with Dr. Roland. He's passed away now. I think a couple with him. And I brought in such individuals to talk about the COVID pandemic and how they were using that, and to tell you all the truth, because how many of y'all know they kept censoring us, demonetizing us, but they were demonetizing and censoring me for other topics long before COVID. How many of y'all know that? So the moment I realized what the agenda really was, and when I realized when we start telling the truth about some of what was going on, they start to demonetize us, they start to censor us. So I came up with the idea of doing it offline so that we can do it exclusively and bring in some of the best minds related to what was really going on. So doing such things offline, there was another point that I was getting ready to make, and I just ended up losing my train of thought. Somebody said, we depend and need your commentary. You're raw and uncut. Absolutely. Well, people like Dr. Rowling that I brought on, by the way, Dr. Rowling is someone that's actually taught other surgeons. He dealt with Ebola and other diseases as a virologist. He wasn't no podiatrist, wasn't no cardiologist, wasn't no psychiatrist. He didn't do other doctor jobs. He specialized in the vaccine stuff. And people like him that's considered to be an intellectual, guess who rejected such voices like his? The Joy Reids, the Don Lemons. Those are the individuals that did not want to listen to someone that's not only had a doctorate degree, but trained other surgeons. And his specialty is as a virologist. And as quiet as it was kept, Dr. Rowling was also on the staff of the Vatican, specifically related to medical stuff. Real talk. So when they say it's an anti-intellectualism, they're the ones that's against folks that's got traditional degrees like them. They were giving folks like him the middle finger. So when they try to tell you that they're smart ones, they're not. They're really the real dumb ones. The real dumb ones. Strong dumb. Tiffany come out trying to defend themselves, talking about that. Now, why am I bringing all this up? When they had those platforms, they were using the COVID stuff and all that to come against us, trying to say it's a problem with social media. Do you all know they did that as a way to get us censored on social media? How many of y'all remember they started putting all them restrictions on social media, especially a few years ago during COVID? Tiffany Cross, Joy Reid, Don Lemon, all those folks that had those prominent shows, they were a part of attacking us to silence us. How many of y'all know we were growing in such impact and influence with you all? See, not only did I maximize my voice on different platforms, I never took for granted when people were watching me, whether they were watching me about 2,000 live or 200 live. I understand the power of impact and being consistent and not just looking at numbers, one off here and one off there. That's why when I show up in public, the real people show up. It don't be just fake and TV. It just don't be online. You see? Watch this. That bothers them. Are y'all listening? I said that bothers them. So Tiffany Cross, Joy Reid and them, all those voices, they were actually jealous of us. So that's the reason why they were helping to push silencing us online, because it threatened their position as the ultimate voice on those major cable platforms. Oh, famously Blacker, my sister. Oh, I hope it's okay. I be scared to sometimes say her name. That's a star right there. For real, like a for real. I hope she's okay for me to say, Sister Shashina. She's always supportive. Your gift is blessed, Sister, 1,000-fold. Thank you so much. Your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. So these voices use their platforms to promote policies that silenced us. Are y'all listening? They're thanking you, sis, for your gift. Somebody else just said, I remember some celebrities had to come out and apologize for their comments that they made against the jab. Right! That was crazy. Somebody else said, Vicki ain't stuttering. Talk black to me, somebody. Somebody else said, hey, beautiful, when we get married. Child, you play too much. Lord, my masculines, bless your heart. Oh, somebody else just gave a gift, first-class citizen. She's trying to spin the narrative, calling us anti-intellectual and persecuting us because we're onto them and their backwards agenda. They're educated fools, but hurt because Skamala didn't win. Now, that's true. Exactly. Now, watch this. Now, family, whoever just said that, you're exactly right, beloved. Listen. So I want you all to know the reason why I brought up all these different platforms that have blocked me, that have come against me, all these different places and people, they're the ones that's actually anti-intellectual. But what I want you to hear is a comment that somebody made that I thought exactly articulates what I've been trying to say over the years. Guess what somebody just said under that same video that I just showed you, what Tiffany just said the other day. Are y'all listening? This brother says, people keep mistaking articulation for intellect. Y'all not listening. He said people keep mistaking articulation for intellect. Being an intellectual ain't about your vocabulary. It's not confined to academia or talking just politics and Black plight on podcast. It's about your awareness. Tell me that he got it. Tell me, our brother, do y'all understand that? He says, a man who builds an empire with his hands, I feel spirit on this very strong. A man who builds an empire with his hands is just as intellectual as the one with the PhD. The problem is we've started policing each other's brilliance. Y'all ain't ready for this next word. Instead of expanding what it means to be smart. His handle says, now I may be messing this up. Y'all know I can't be reading half y'all's handles, so I'm going to spell it out. His handle is something about I am DENAUN, whatever that is. This is what they don't like. Now, how many of you all know that if you ask Tiffany Cross right now, what does she think? What is her position on this lady right here? How many of y'all know who this is right here? Y'all, I've talked about her over the years, and certainly you all know who she is. Many of you should know who she is without me telling you. If you ask, I'm trying to just pull up her picture. If you ask Tiffany and Angela and others, who is this lady? And what do they think of her? Who is this, y'all? Family, who is this right here? Are y'all looking at your screen right now? Tell me, who is this? There are many people I can point to right now, but somebody tell me who this is. AI Smart said Fanny. First class, your gift is blessed. The blue collar against the white collar ideology. Exactly. Watch this. Whoever said that, you're absolutely right. Of course, that's Fannie Lou Hamer. Yes? What about her? What I want to remind folks of, if you showed that to Angela or Tiffany or any of them that's out there talking about that there's a war on Black intellectualism, ask them, what do they think about Fannie Lou Hamer? What do you think that they would tell you? I said, what do you think that they would tell you about her? They would talk about how she's a soldier for civil rights, wouldn't they? They would tell you how she shook the Democratic Party and both political systems as we know it, so much so that she calls the former president of the United States to respond to her, to interrupt her speech. Wouldn't they be sitting there bragging about Fannie Lou Hamer, right? Right? My sister from Mississippi, yes? Would they say that because Fannie Lou Hamer, it says just a general Wikipedia, is American voting and women's rights activist, community organizer, and leader of the civil rights movement. She was a vice chair of the Freedom Democratic Party. She was a vice chair, right, of the Freedom Democratic Party, which she represented at the 1964 Democratic National Convention. Hamer also organized Mississippi's Freedom Summer along with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Y'all know that was SNCC. She was co-founder of the National Women's Political Caucus, an organization created to recruit, train, and support women of all races who sought election to government offices, right? Right? Born in Montgomery County, Mississippi. died in 1977 at the age of 59 in Mound Bayou, Mississippi. Burial place is Ruleville, Mississippi. She's known as a major civil rights leader and all the things that I just said, among other things, right? Right? She began her civil rights activism, it says, in 1962, continuing it until her health declined 9 years later. She became known for the use. Are y'all listening? She became known for the use. Are y'all listening? She became known for the use of her spiritual hymns. Vicki, please calm down. Oh, my goodness. And her biblical quotes. And for her resilience in leading the civil rights movement for Black women in Mississippi. She was threatened, harassed, shot at, and assaulted by racists, including members of the police, while she was trying to register to vote. She later helped and encouraged thousands of African Americans in Mississippi to become registered voters and assisted hundreds of disenfranchised people in her area through her work in programs such as the Freedom Farm Cooperative. She ran for the U.S. House in 1964, losing to Jamie Whitten, and she ran for Mississippi State Senate in 1971. In 1970, she led legal action against the government of Sunflower County, Mississippi for continued illegal segregation. Her memorial service was widely attended, and the UN ambassador to the United Nations, Andrew Young, delivered the eulogy. She was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame in 1993. On January 4th, 2025, Joe Biden posthumously awarded Hamer the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I don't see this here. This is my other research. I was hoping that they had it here. Some of you all don't know that Miss Fannie Lou Hamer was, I think, close to 40 years old, and she was a sharecropper when she started her activism. She did not hail from an Ivy League university or any other university like that. Would they call her anti-intellectual? Long after she was out of the political limelight, I did other research on her, and I saw an old footage on a platform that had some rare footage of her in an interview, and they were talking to her about international issues. And they were asking our dear sister, who's from my home state, Mississippi, about the fact that they kept calling her political affiliation basically communist and socialist and all that stuff, right? And they were comparing her to other countries that the United States hated, like still today, like the China and the Russians of the world, right? I can't remember which exact country it was. I want to say China. They kept talking about communism and they may have even used Marxism and all the different governmental systems that they set up. That the journalist was asking her something along those lines and said, but they keep calling you all communists and stuff. Guess what Fannie Lou Hamer basically said? This that deep Mississippi wisdom that shakes things for real. Tiffany, the reporter, trying to basically kind of trap her into the fact that they keep likening you all to communist and other such thing. Watch this. Guess what Fannie Lou Hamer, I'm paraphrasing what she said, but guess how she answered the question, y'all? She said, well, they compare us to. She basically let them know, I don't know nothing about those countries like that, in so many words, because she was talking about how they were getting together under the new political group that she was with. They were getting their new policy stance together, right? That's the context of what was going on. And she was basically letting them know that she don't know too many details about exactly X, Y, and Z, and that they're formulating their position. But she said they keep accusing us of, and I'm just going to say being a communist because of their social program, because of this and because of that. She made the United States look like a damn fool with the fact that she likened them attacking her position for some of these other countries while they was trying to catch her up in catchphrases and terms to like communism and Marxism and all that stuff. She flipped the script in such a classy and an intellectual way to indict the United States. because she focused on the policy stuff and saying that they call us this because of our positions on this, our positions on that, our positions on this, our positions on that. It made America look like a fool because she made the point, all the things that she brought up basically was justifying, were basically saying that some of the programs and things that they likened them to, these were things that were good for the people. These positions that they held were closer to the things of justice. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying here? So the one hand, she was like, I don't know too much about that. But she flipped the script in what appeared to be her ignorance to indict the United States, to indict really that journalist that brought up her positioning, what they felt to be a controversial issue with other countries, other nations and their governance, and made them look like a fool. Because her point is, if you guys are calling me this based on the just programs and policy positions that we hold, really the question is, what does that say about you? She made these other nations look real good and made America look bad when the journalist was wanting her to distance herself from those terms when she focused more or less on the policies. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to say here? A year and some change ago, I did a broadcast on Angela being on the Breakfast Club. And she made a fool of herself. And these are the ones that y'all want us to believe are the most intelligent among us. Angela was dog walked on the Breakfast Club when Dr. Jill Stein, how many of y'all know Dr. Jill Stein? She was a part of the third party campaign. How many of y'all remember that?
Grassroots, non-corporate.
She told me I'm a white person.
Okay.
How many of y'all remember that? All the ones that's claiming that they the intellectuals, they keep losing in public. They being made a fool of. Y'all can't even hold your your democratic policy positions well when you in debates with folks. Well, Dr. Jill Stein and Dr. Butch, they were, that was her running mate, Dr. Butch, the black man, with Dr. Jill Stein, right? They were on the Breakfast Club. And y'all, this is how the conversation started. Just to remind you, I'm going to get ready to go here in a minute. Just to give you a little idea. And this is under the Copper Act of 1976. So I'm not going to play this whole thing. I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa's filling in for Jess. And we have our sister Angela Rye with us this morning, helping us out.
Hello.
And we got some special guests joining us. We have Dr. Jill Stein. Welcome.
Hello.
And Dr. Butch Ware.
Good
Welcome.
morning. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
We in the building.
Y'all are the Green Party presidential candidate and
Now, just so you know, Angela Rye is not Angela is not the permanent co-host on Breakfast Club. Why is she there? She's supposed to be the intellectual heavyweight. They're supposed to be able to carry the heaviness of the Dr. Jill Steins and the Dr. Butch. So they bring it in, they diplomatic and academic heavyweight, and she don't have no weight. Whatever them classes are in boxing, she the what is it? It's heavyweight, welterweight, and some weight. It's the little weights. They didn't do that right. The classes was off with them. They thought they was bringing in a equal for the weight, for the no. What no. It's lightweight. That was she wasn't supposed to be in the ring at that time with them, Angela. But I digress.
running mate. Tell the people, what is the Green Party and how are they different from the Democrats and the Republicans?
Well, for one thing, we don't take money from billionaires and bankers and AIPAC and Wall Street and the war machine. So we're a people-powered party. That's what makes us totally different. That's what liberates us to actually tell it like it is and to stand up and fight for the people, for the healthcare that we need as a human right, for the housing that we need, because half of America right now, half of all renters are struggling to keep a roof over their heads. That's not a surprise, I'm sure, to the listeners on this program. 87 million people don't have the healthcare that we need. Our schools are in crisis. We got 44 million people carrying student debt. and a climate crisis. Yet we're spending half of our congressional dollars on the endless war machine, bringing us the likes of the genocide in Gaza and beyond. We got 3, nuclear wars in the making right now. This is where our dollars are going. It's half of our congressional budget. It's $12,000 on average per household in America to keep this endless war machine going right now. Yet we have such urgent and dire needs, especially among communities of color and African Americans. We've got really critical needs that we need to be meeting. And that's what the Green Party is about, actually fighting for people, planet, and peace over profit.
What would you say to people that feel like the Green Party is really taking votes away from Democrats?
Listen.
And it's a disruptor. A lot of people, especially a lot of older people, when you talk about other parties outside of Republican and Democrats, they say, all they're doing is being disrupting. They're just taking the votes away from other parties. What are your thoughts on that?
So that's kind of the propaganda of the power machine that wants you to stay in your place, basically, and to think that resistance is futile and think that you don't own your vote. I mean, who owns your vote? Politicians have to earn your vote. They don't own it. And that's the question. Are they earning your vote? When you actually look at our condition, people are facing a crisis really in every dimension of our lives, and it's not getting better, yet our resources are being squandered. 68% of Americans want an immediate ceasefire and an end to the genocide. 68%, yet you can hardly get a single vote on that behalf in Congress, and you're getting a standing ovation per minute for that war criminal Netanyahu, who is carrying out this genocide, which could be ended with a simple phone call from the president, just like Reagan did, just like Eisenhower did before him. The U.S. is in charge. This is our genocide going on right now. And don't let them talk you into voting for genocide. If you vote for genocide, you're endorsing it, you're enabling it. We can stop it. We actually have the power.
Okay, she's saying a whole lot of good stuff right there, right? Now, this is what Dr. Butch says while he got on it. Y'all listen. I think this is when he starts.
90 seconds, and then she ended by saying, I will never do anything that only helps Black people. In other words, it was a rival.
Wait a minute, watch this. Watch this, y'all. He reminds them of what Kamala said.
I called onto the ticket 3 weeks ago. Okay.
Wait, here we go.
If you look at the solutions that are out there, they're out there really waiting for us to stand up and demand them. And if we don't,
that's the reason why I'm gonna keep cutting it off and going in and out, because I don't want them, you don't want people to give you copyright things.
A mess out of the world. We've committed some 80 regime change operations since the
Y'all
Second
listen.
World War. What's going on in Gaza it's like a microcosm. It's like a symbol of empire and colonialism kind of run amok. But it's
he's gonna talk. Hold on.
We've been rolling out slow motion genocides all over the world for quite some time. And this is catching up to us. We are no longer the dominant power around the world.
Okay, I think he's going to say something here.
We need to shift with it. We can no longer be giving marching orders to the rest of the world. We need to stand up like an adult and be part of a global community and a shared power structure.
And if you just tag me in right here, Joe, I'll go back to the first question, right? How is it different? So when I was evaluating, got called onto the ticket 3 weeks ago, okay?
Y'all listening?
And I had done an Instagram live with Dr. Jill Stein, and I asked her a couple of questions. I had just posted a reel where Kamala Harris had been asked about reparations.
Kamala Harris.
Okay, Kamala Harris had been...
Okay, y'all see how he said Kamala Harris, right? They interrupted and jumped on him like that he had just committed the unpardonable sin. Well, I'm not going to show you this whole hour and something podcast, but he mispronounces Kamala's name again, and they corrected him again, but they jumped on him even worse. My brother Virgil, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. He's always giving. He says, keep bringing the light, Queen, Sybil, Prophetess. Thank you so much, precious. I love you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Now, all the stuff that they just said about the genocide, how we can use American monies to keep it here, they broke down all of the criminal stuff that was going on, all the stuff. They had nothing to say about that. No interruptions. No, that's right. No, that's good. No, that sounds good. Oh, really? The part they jump in on is a weird old technicality of a pronunciation of Kamala Harris, who goes by other names. That I won't call her right now. The thing that gets them to say something is a mispronunciation. All that stuff that they just said, you know why? Because it indicts their D1 position, Democrat first, and not their B1 position, Black first. Do y'all understand? I said, do y'all understand?
Had posted a reel about reparations. I posted a reel where she was talking about it.
He talking about how he posted a reel on Kamala and the reparations, right? Of course, y'all know that's the part that we definitely interested in, right? Listen.
And if you can just tag me in right here, Jill, I'll go back to the first.
Listen again.
How was it different? So when I was evaluating, got called onto the ticket 3 weeks ago, okay? And I had done an Instagram live with Dr. Zi0nist. And
Listen.
I asked her a couple of questions. I had just posted a reel where Kamala Harris had been asked about reparations.
Kamala Harris.
Okay, Kamala Harris had posted a reel about reparations. I posted a reel where she was talking about it. And she was asked, and she sort of went around for about 90 seconds, and then she ended by saying, "I will never do anything that only helps Black people." In other words, it was a rising tide, lift all boats. We're gonna have social policies and stuff that helps Black folks by default. So I asked Dr. Jill in the interview, "What's your position on reparations?" And she said, "They behave as though it's incalculable, but it has been calculated by specialists many times. It's between 10 and $13 trillion US, and I'm in favor of payments, cash payments to the descendants of the enslaved." So this had my attention with that, right? The second point is I said, well, we know that you have been at the forefront of the...
Stop right there. Where is the, that's good. Where is Charlemagne and the other girl that's the co-host? Where is Angela and them say that sound real good? Where are the applause? He should have been interrupted with applause, and that's wonderful, and that's great. Y'all didn't hear nothing about none of that. Right there. Right there. Bunch of silence for stuff like that. Are y'all listening? I just got to remind y'all who we dealing with here. No, but they'll interrupt him to pronounce Kamala's wicked name right. I would have called her different kinds of names and stuff and would have dared them to check me. I would have called her by her right name.
Because unless you live in one of them 4 or 5 swing states,
I gotta skip, y'all. I need your patience because it's too long.
Before you ever get into the booth. So
I think this is way more.
Throwing your vote away on Team Red or Team Blue when it don't make no difference in the state that you in, why not vote for reparations now? Why not vote for a ceasefire now? Why not build power in a Green Party that is going to give people an actual viable third-party alternative so that we can get these thugs on either side of the aisle to behave like grown folk?
Well, so you raise an interesting point around throwing your vote away, and there's actually numbers on that. Dr. Stein, you raised over $7.3 million for a recount in 2016, a recount of votes that probably actually do matter. In Michigan, for example, you acquired...
Angela interrupts thinking she sounds like an intellectual. When he exposed both parties. Later in the interview, he says that the real kind of gangbangers, the real red and blue, because he said he actually honored the street gangs. He said that the real red and blue beef is the Democrats and the Republicans, and he exposes both of them, right? Y'all, this thing is too long, but I'm gonna skip to another part here because I want y'all to hear something. I'm trying to see where my notes are. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Everybody hit those thumbs up button and share.
51,463 votes. Of course, Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 10,704 votes, and she lost by half a percentage point in Michigan. In Wisconsin, 31,006 votes. You acquired. Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 22,000.
Hold on, because she's trying to sound deep with numbers, and it's not working. Everybody is feeling off when she start trying to come off like she's smart, and it's not making no sense. So the lady was dog walking them. Just know that, right? Okay, let me see this one part. Is this it?
Exactly.
Okay, so it's hard to understand. As a candidate,
to hear that from a candidate, it kind of gives like, well, why are you here then?
It does sound like
you might as well join up with a team.
No. May I go in on this, please? Because I would not have joined this campaign. I would not have come out of prestigious position in the.
Hold on, y'all. Y'all be patient with me. Everybody hit that thumbs up button, share. For those of you just coming in, I got a free webinar coming up next week. It's free. It's an ancestor webinar. I'm gonna talk about how when we tap into the powers of our ancestral lineage, how it can actually affect the economy. You don't want to miss that. Go to my website. The link is pinned above. If you want to know about my high-end courses that you can sign up for to register for, go to the same link that's pinned above at VickiPlanet.com to register. Get your seat for next week, okay? You don't want to miss it. I'm going to be breaking down a whole lot of deep stuff that you don't want to miss.
They are self-fulfilling prophecies. If you're in the poll, as determined by whatever, private
Give me a
polling
minute.
agency, if you are in the polls, people are going to know about you. If you're not even being polled, people won't
They
know.
do not predict outcomes; they produce them.
And if people
it's
are
interesting
saying,
because y'all
if
came
people
in
are
citing
screaming for other choices, don't they have a right to hear those other choices?
I think they do, but I think that what you have are people that need a certain level of validity to the campaign. You will not hear Donald Trump or Kamala Harris tonight on this debate stage saying, hey, it's not just about us winning. Winning is everything. And even if we want to say, hey, this shouldn't be a binary choice. I grew up also raised by an activist. My dad brought home the picture of all of the parties in South Africa.
So you're right.
A multi-party democracy is great. That's not what we have. We have a binary choice between.
Well, you may say so, but the American, it's not in the Constitution. The American people don't want that. The American people are explicitly on records in absolutely unprecedented numbers saying we want other choices. And not only do people want other choices, they want to hear their choices.
I do believe in a third party. I think we need other options, but it does seem like you all have a lot more smoke for the Democratic Party. And I just wonder why.
Listen, you see how dumb they sound? But watch how Dr. Butch and Dr. Jill Stein is going to expose the Democrats and see what Angela Rye and all the silly Tiffany Crosses of the world have to say about this. Tiffany's not on this platform right now, but this is the sick mindset that make them think that they're actually intellectually superior. And it's a myth. It's a myth, family. The HR, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. Y'all listen, okay? So what did Charlamagne say? Charlamagne is mad at them, talking about, seem like y'all got more smoke for the Democrats than you do Republicans, right? This is leading up to the last election, right? Listen to what they say about what the Democrats did. I want to remind y'all, because y'all think that Vicki's crazy. Y'all know I've talked about this many times, but I got to take y'all back in time to catch you up to speed.
Yeah, so if I can jump in on that particular point.
Listen.
So to kind of finish the previous one, I absolutely would not be in this race if I didn't think that we had a chance to win. I wouldn't waste y'all's time, and I wouldn't waste my own time.
Listen.
So that's number one.
Listen.
We have had to, up until this point in time, target the Democrats specifically because they're the ones that are suing to keep us off the ballot. They're the ones that are trying to knock us off the ballot in Georgia. They are the ones that are doing everything they can to keep us from coming. If we were not a problem for them, AOC wouldn't be, doing her little sorry attack ads, against us, that we came back at. So the Democrats are attacking us. We're responding in kind. Just to be plain about this. The reason why they don't want Dr. Jill Stein on the debate stage is because she will be able to look at Team Red and say, this is a party that is led by a domestic terrorist and a criminal. Okay. Tried to overthrow the government on January 6th and is convicted of numerous crimes, including sexual abuse that amounts to rape and so forth. So this man is a domestic terrorist and a criminal. Okay, she can look to Kamala Harris. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Come on, my brother.
Hold on. No, it's honest to God, no disrespect, to be perfectly honest. It's just the way that I had gotten used to pronouncing the name because it resembles a name that is used in West Africa.
But you understand the point of getting it right, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to. As the brother on the team with the other, you gotta.
Absolutely. I will not make that mistake again. I'm begging.
I love seeing black men get jumped by black women.
No, hold on.
It's not me.
Listen.
My edges just
It's just triggering.
Yeah.
It's triggering.
Listen, richly deserved. And if I act a fool, check my black ass. That's fine. Like,
No. Angela said it's triggering because they mispronounced Kamala Harris, who believed in locking up black folks. Kamala Harris, who had no love for black mamas and daddies that was raising black babies. Kamala Harris that fought with the Supreme Court to keep disproportionate black prisoners in prison because she didn't want them to get out because she needed them for their cheap labor in California. You don't sit your. I would have cussed her out in them too and would have called Kamala by her real name. Melanin Associates, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. To my grassroots political party, Ashe, beloved. Y'all, they sit up here talking about how they pro-reparations, how they could justify spending trillions of dollars to pay us cash money They talked about why both the Democrats and Republicans are wrong. They broke down how it's the Democrats that spent money and bragged about suing them and sending out spies to their other parts of that, where they break down how the Democrats is bragging about destroying their campaign and coming against them to silence them. They talked about all the healthcare stuff that the Democrats involved in stopping Americans from getting healthcare and how they can make that an issue. They talked about all these different things that they could have said something about. The only thing that got them triggered, she says, is the mispronunciation of Kamala's name. And Tiffany said that it's a war against them because they're the intellectual among us. And Trick, you can't even win an interview debate, which wasn't even supposed to be a debate, but you can't even hold it together over a breakfast club talk with notes and a laptop with this white lady who has stronger positions than you with your black looking self. Did y'all hear what I said? Y'all, this interview is too long, but I want to fast forward to remind y'all what she did. Now imagine her getting her tail whooped, dog walked, the whole show, humiliated, embarrassed. Y'all, this white lady was quoting black folks left and right, so it really made Angela look stupid. Dr. Jill Stein, they was pro-reparations, pro this, pro that, anti-war, and she was quoting black folks all through the talk, all through the interview, right? So Angela's looking extra stupid, right? Extracurricular stupid. Extracurricular activity done, right? So she's so mad, y'all. The broadcast is getting close to being over, right? So I got to fast for y'all. It's too much. It's too much because I got to go. Y'all, look. The broadcast was going so long. Toward the end of the broadcast, she realized that it's no chance for her to recover because the Breakfast Club interview about to be over. So Angela is so freaking frustrated, right? I think this is close to the part. I may have to stop it.
My brother was not backing down, and the Zi0nist came for my job within the month. Okay, and a Negro is still standing. So, but the point of all that is just to say that when
wait a minute,
when we launched this campaign to try to actually bring people into this conversation, you see that this is actually where the American people stand. The American people do not want this forever war, and they do not want militarized fascists coming to their campuses to crack kids' heads open. I had to stand out in front of the encampment, and that's Democratic governor in California. That's Democrat, mayors in places like New York City. It's Democrats that are running cop cities. So the thing is, bro, fascism is already here. It's just that one of it is like fascism, and the other is fascism. But the truth is that the purple fascists, the purple imperialists, Team Red and Team Blue, are run by the same funders, and who funds you runs you. So there's a discourse about putting off fascism, but the reality is that fascism.
Why isn't Angela, the intellectual among us, saying amen to that right there? Why is she not talking about some no ashe, I mean? That's right. Why aren't they clapping? Why isn't Charlemagne clapping and say that sound good to me? Right there, that part. Y'all ain't listening. Watch this. Watch this. So because they have already throughout the broadcast have explained how the Democrats has been filing lawsuits. The Democrats bragged about sending spies to stop their campaign. It's the Democrats, he said, that has been stopping them in court. There was nothing she could say to that. Y'all listen.
Here, because we already can't speak freely. We already have people, university presidents, losing their job under Democratic regimes. We already have kids that are lining up for peaceful protests, having their heads
Democrats.
Or you have the cops standing to the side at UCLA so the thugs can
Democrats.
Kids' heads open. So I'm sorry, the fear mongering ain't gonna work on me.
The only thing that
y'all watch,
I would say to you is I think it's very dangerous rhetoric to say there are two sides of the same coin. I do think it's important for us to understand.
You see how they're not smart. They still want us to believe that the Democrats are good for us. She said it's dangerous. Dangerous. Angela can't be for reparations. She's okay with murder and war. She's okay with all that's going on. And we know she is because years ago, in my previous video, I showed you she was dogging Minister Farrakhan to defend white Zionists. She showed she was willing to try to destroy the reputation of somebody that's been serving the Black community for many generations, a couple of generations plus, on behalf of them folks. No, Tiffany, you all are the crisis. Tiffany said in that clip earlier, remember, that there's a crisis of anti-intellectualism, as if those like her that teach in colleges, those like Mark Lamont Hill that teaches in college, people like Angela Rye, who's an attorney that worked for Capitol Hill that was on CNN, they think they special. No, you all are the crisis. You're the crisis. You're the storm. But watch this.
I think it's dangerous to all of us, actually. I don't have the
We
privilege.
disagree.
I understand. We do on a lot, but we also agree on a lot. But here's one thing I think we can agree on. Either you win or lose this election. There's really no
Watch this, y'all.
Dr. Stein, in 2002, you ran for governor of Massachusetts
Right.
and you lost. In 2004, you ran for state representative in Massachusetts and you lost. In 2006, you ran for secretary of the Commonwealth. You also lost. In 2010, you ran for governor again, this time against the first Black governor in Massachusetts, Deval Patrick. You lost. In 2012, you ran against this country's first Black president, and you got just less than 0.5% of total votes cast. In 2016, you ran against Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, losing significantly with 1.4 million votes cast for you, but 0 electoral college votes, which I agree with y'all needs to be abolished. But 136 million people voted. And you lost that election as well. So I want to know what the pathway to victory is for you in 2024. It can't just
Now,
be.
I'd like to provide a different frame.
Wait a minute. Y'all got to listen real good because all of them are going to start talking over each other, right? I just want you to see that part right there because Angela thought she was sounding real smart because she was talking about all the times that the lady ran for office in different places and how she kept losing. Angela really thinks she got the stuff right there. That's how you know you're a loser because the broadcast is about over with. That's 50-something minutes into the broadcast, y'all. 58 minutes, almost an hour into their interview, and the show about to be over, right? Angela's doing her best to get a comeback. She keep losing. She's not even throwing the ball over whatever that little H thing is. She hitting herself with the ball. And all on the other team stop. She up in the stands. Then she turn around and get the other people's cheerleaders and start taking their pom-poms and screaming for the other team. Then she jump out there and start trying to do what the marching band do. So she all over the place. Just a crisis. Just a running around. It's a crisis. Masquerading as intelligence. Scaring all of us. Putting all of us in danger through her thinking. Through her thinking. Now listen closely because it's a lot of talking, right, y'all? And I'm gonna have to go in and out. Watch.
I want to provide.
And also,
Can I respond,
One second.
please?
I'll-
May I respond? May I respond?
Go ahead.
Well, I would like to respond.
Yeah.
This is the framing of the empire and the oligarchy and white supremacy and colonialism, which wants you to feel that resistance is futile. This is about voter blaming and voter shaming.
Let me just no. What you're not going to say is that I'm ever parodying anything at the hands of white supremacy. This is something that's very different. This is me asking you again. It's a binary
I'm
choice
just
in an
pointing
election.
out that these are the talking points.
Or a lot. No, it's
These
not
are
a
the
talking
same
point.
talking points
No.
that the
I didn't get my
DNC
talking.
uses.
This is not DNC talking points. This is my research. And sadly for you, the research says you have never won an election. You have been successful in pushing forward certain agendas as an advocate, but you have never won an election as a candidate.
We are the one
is that a winning
party.
strategy?
So
Watch.
in order to win, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one
Watch,
step.
y'all.
And in this case,
This
it's
is
many
1,
steps. Let
2,
me
3,
point
4,
out.
5, 6,
Let me
7
point
steps.
out, please. You need to compare the Green Party, not with those who are taking money from AIPAC and the War Machine and Wall Street. You've got to compare us. Excuse me. You have to compare us to other grassroots,
Brother, now you non-corporate. She told me I'm a white supremacist.
We need.
She said I was parodying the talking points of a white supremacist.
See, that was my disappointment.
May I finish,
earlier.
please?
Like
May I get to my point?
Look.
May I please
We're actually
get
gonna
to
let
my
Dr. Stein and
point?
Angela Rye close it out.
Let me finish, please. Thank you. You're trying to.
Did y'all see her slam down the laptop, y'all? Did y'all see her act a fool because she done lost the war? She lost all the battles, all the wars, all the everything. She didn't sit there and cheer for reparations. She didn't cheer because they was coming against AIPAC. She didn't cheer when they was calling out the war machine. She didn't cheer when the lady was talking about how they could use the money to help the American people. She didn't cheer for none of the stuff that you thought she would cheer for. And when the white lady told her that the talking points you talking about is connected to white supremacy, imperialist, empire, colonialism, and all that. Angela lost her mind. She tried to out Karen the Karen. She tried to out Karen the Karen, y'all.
I want to provide. Can I respond, please? Well, I would like to respond. This is the framing of the empire and the oligarchy and white supremacy and colonialism, which wants you to feel that resistance is futile. This is about voter blaming and voter shaming.
Let me just What you're not going to say is that I'm ever parroting anything at the hands of white supremacy. This is something that's very different. This is me asking you again. It's a binary choice in an election.
Out that these
it is
are
either
the
a win or a lie. No, it's
these
not
are
a
the
talking
same
point.
talking points
No,
that the
I didn't get my
DNC
talking.
uses.
This is not DNC talking points. This is my research, and sadly for you, the research says you have never won an election. You have been successful in pushing forward certain agendas. As an advocate, but you have never won an election as a candidate. Is that a winning strategy?
So, in order to win, a journey of 1,000 miles.
Watch Angela.
One step.
Watch.
And in this case, it's many steps. Let me point out, please. You need to compare the Green Party, not with those who are taking money from APAC and the War Machine and Wall Street. You've got to compare us. Excuse me. You have to compare us to other grassroots, non-corporate.
She told me I'm a white supremacist. Okay.
Then she turned around and said to Dr. Butch, brother, you gonna support her now that she called me a white supremacist? Yes, Trick, you white in blackface. You real white. Deep white in the inside. Like a monkey that when you shave the monkey hair, you know how they love to call black folks monkeys, but when you shave the monkey's hair, the monkey look like what color? Get rid of that hair, baby, that mask, that covering. See, that's what she tripped out about, because the lady is letting her know, without calling her blackface, the position in the party that you support, ma'am, they white supremacists. And she's right. And Angela gets upset that Dr. Jill Stein is exposing stuff that I've been saying about her for years and years and years. But it hits different when a white woman tell you that to your face, that you talking anti-black. When a white woman tell you that you talking white supremacy, it hit different than a deep Mississippi Vicki Dillard talking, don't it? It hit harder, stronger. And then I'm at a distance when I'm telling her that, because see, Angela, we don't be on the same platforms. So it hurts. It hit hard when a white woman tell you talking about white supremacy talking point. To your face. Hey, beloved Donna said, hi, goddess. Hey, precious.
She said I was parroting the talking points of the white supremacy.
Look at Angela.
May I finish, please? May I get to my point?
Watch this.
Please get to my point. Let me finish, please. Thank you.
Y'all see her slam it?
You're
Look.
trying to compare us to the Democratic Party and the Republican Party with their billions of dollars.
She slammed down her laptop. Did this. This is what Tiffany said is intellectualism. No, baby, I gotta go. I gotta go now. I had to remind you all of this because Angela was not happy about the reparations positions. She was not happy about stopping the genocide in Gaza. She wasn't happy about spending trillions of dollars on American people. She wasn't happy about none of that stuff. But the stuff that triggered her were two things. When Dr. Butch mispronounced Kamala Harris's name, and when the white woman told the black looking woman that you sitting here parroting white supremacist talking points. When she exposed her for exactly who she is, I had to remind you all in very stark terms that this is who they are. If you just coming in, watch my entire broadcast. Stoshi said, powerful power. Yes, I have to bring this. I got to remind y'all how this go. I have to remind you all and connect dots. This is who they really are. They say they're for reparations speculatively in their head. And when you bring it up as an idea and as a thought, but in terms of making it a policy for the Democrat Party, they're not supporting that. And then when somebody like Dr. Jill and Dr. Bush gives them actual ways that we can utilize dollars to pay us reparations in cash, you don't hear the Charlemagnes, the Angela Rise cheer that as that being something good. They were hostile in defending the Democrat Party. And when the lady proved in no limit of time that it was the Democrats that were spending millions of dollars in court to silence them, throughout the broadcast, they bragged about the fact that the Democrats were soliciting spies to infiltrate their campaigns to silence and stop them. When they broke down that the parties are both the same, and she broke it down, policy, how they are, Angela continued to defend the Democrats and went so far as to tell the lady that because they're comparing the two parties and telling Dr. Bush that because they are saying that the parties are the same, she said it was dangerous for them to say that. Who was she talking to, family? Dr. Jill Stein and Dr. Butch. Dr. Butch is an intellectual in the college as well, right? A professor. But Tiffany Cross and the rest of them fools want you to think that there is an intellectual crisis. No, trick. The great Dr. Claude Anderson is Dr. Claude Anderson, that not only has the credentials of academia, not only has the credentials of running multiple political campaigns and winning, not only as a businessman, but also as someone that worked in the Commerce Department for the Jimmy Carter administration. They don't embrace Dr. Claude. So what the hell do you mean there is an intellectual crisis? We agree. You don't want to listen to intellectuals that don't use their intelligence against the system and the institution because it interferes with your biscuits. Somebody put a bone in the chat. It interferes with your puppy chow. It interferes with your bacon beds. You did not respect and embrace the great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. I did a broadcast reminding you all of me calling out Dr. Mark Lamont Hill a few years ago, because upon hearing the news that Dr. Frances Cress Welsing passed, Mark Lamont Hill, y'all's professor, the ones that they was defending, came out to basically thumbs up and to say good riddance to her death. And so did one of the co-leaders of ADOS. She did the same thing. Now, y'all are talking about now how some of them walked that back and showed a little some regret. I'm trying to show you that your intellectual class is the one that came out against them. But Mark Lamont Hill is on Al Jazeera. Mark Lamont Hill was fired from CNN because allegedly his position on Gaza. Now, you're going to sit here and defend people whose lives are unjustly taken in Gaza, but you celebrated your Black mama's passing. I'm all for going off on Netanyahu and the Zionists. Y'all know I do that real well. And I did it long before October 7th. And I go into greater detail when I'm doing my webinars because of the restrictions online. And I confronted Robert F. Kennedy to his face about that in reparations. And I staunchly defend the great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Why did he have to allegedly walk back that he said that? What made this little twerp feel comfortable saying it at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't you ever let them think for 1 second that there is an intellectual crisis, because those that had academia like them and beyond them as doctors in their particular fields, when they use it for Black folks, when they use it for reparations, when they use it to expose the real devil, they come against them. They distance themselves from them. Don't you ever let them trick you into believing that. Z Butterfly, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. I got to go, family. Mark your calendars if you're just coming in. I've got a free Ancestors webinar coming up next week. Y'all have been waiting for me to do another Ancestors webinar. I've been doing them for years. People love when I do them. I'm going to give you insight about the spiritual connection with your ancestry and how that can affect the outcomes of the economy. Save your free seat, first come, first serve. The link is above. You can register at my website. If you are my men, instead of brothers out there complaining about providing and protecting for your family, get your funny looking self up out them circles from the manosphere. Manospheres call themselves manospheres because ain't no woman around. They wifeless. They don't have women. And if they got a wife, they don't like her. You don't want to be out there just calling the brothers a simp because he love on his woman. Simps get made love to. Simps be happy. Peace. Simps get opportunities economically that you will never get because your energy is off. Y'all know I don't be doing talks on business and entrepreneurship like that. That's not me. But my spiritual core has been giving me specific information to help you spiritually shift your vibration so that you can do the spiritual work and increase favorable opportunities, circumstances, and situation in your life. Yvette said, I've already signed. I know that's right. So brothers, that's a men's only academy. It's a more of a high-end course, but you may qualify for the installments at checkout. The link is above. So go to my website to sign up. It's called Treasures of Darkness. Our focus is going to be on providing and for protecting. You're going to be under my spiritual teachings for 60 days. And I can assure you, if you do the work, your life will never be the same. You will have the edge above all other men. Women, I've got a 90-day higher end course called Isis Goddess Mystery Temple. This is my gold tier. I'm going to give you the sacred secrets of how the divine feminine uses our secret feminine energy to magnetize and attract and to manifest the life of our dreams. Ladies, I can assure you, we're going to go to levels that you cannot even imagine. Your life will never be the same. You're going to change your world and you will change the world. Why are my courses 60 days for my men, 90 for my women? Because it takes time to do the work spiritually. And because my desire is to get you long-term effects, you have to be willing to give that much time and to invest greater in yourself. Some of you all are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're saying that your life hasn't changed. You've got to do something different if you want a different outcome. How many of y'all know that when you do the same thing over and over again, they call you crazy? Because you are doing the same thing and expecting a different result. No. If you want something you never had, you got to do something you never done. And spirituality, spiritual principles are the thing that you need to focus on first. Why? Because everything you see came from everything you can't see. That means that when you start doing the work that you need to do spiritually, that's what's going to affect the world that you can see. So go dark. Go to the spirit realm first. Do the necessary building blocks in the spirit. Then you will see long-term effects in your natural reality. Donna said, Ashe, I know that's right. The link is above. So for my ladies, the 90-day course, Isis Goddess Mystery Temple. People want to know, Vicki, what's your secret to magnetism? How do you manifest the life of your dreams? I'm not saying for you to manifest my life, but I'm going to give you the principles so that you can manifest your sacred life to another level. The link is above my website. Brothers, Treasures of Darkness. The focus is on providing and protecting. The link is above. Both will have installment options for my higher end courses. Then what did I say? The third thing, next week, I'm having a free Ancestors webinar. The link is above. Go to my website so that you can sign up for all of those things. Make the investment in yourself. Do not make any excuses. Don't start yawning. Don't click this off and go to living the same life that you live an hour and a half ago, 30 minutes ago, before you clicked on this link. If the divine has allowed you to hear my voice, perhaps it's because it's meant to change your life, even when you didn't expect it to be changed. You're not, some of you are complaining, talking about you getting older and that your life isn't changing. You got to make a greater investment, and you got to make an investment in the right place, which is spirit. And it needs to be with a capable person who is anointed and divinely sanctioned to give you a divine word. Because if in the beginning was the word and the word created all the things that we can see, the thing that's going to change your world is a new word. The only difference between the word world and the word word is the letter L, having to do with life and living. So if you want to change your world, create a new world, you need a new word. And not people that say what they think I'm saying. Not the copycats out there. Not the people that y'all think is slick and look like they got bigger platforms on certain places. You need to be with someone that's divinely sanctioned so that you're able to get results in this life. Watch this. And this is the level up for real. And in the world to come. Men don't make excuses. Men aren't sitting up complaining about a woman and wanting her to lower her standards because you feel like that you can't reach it. Men accept challenges. Watch this. Even when they don't have all the answers. I said men accept challenges even when they don't have all the answers. I'm there not to give you no stock tips. I'm there to give you spiritual tips so that you can have the unseen edge that the average man will never have. That's what I offer. And for my women, you're more than what you know. And the world spins, the universe spins, the multiverse spins based on a feminine principle. So that automatically means that we have a particular power that the male doesn't. But the question is, many of us don't know how to activate it. You understand? Your life will never be the same. Those 3 different things. Everybody can attend my free webinar next week, my Ancestors webinar. The link is on my website. The link is pinned above, or go to VickiPlanet.com. My high-end Treasures of Darkness School for my men 60-day academy. The link is at VickiPlanet.com. My women 90-day women only Isis Goddess Mystery Temple. The link is at VickiPlanet.com. Thank you for tuning in. I love you so much. I'm your sister with the curly braids. All of you that gave your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. Some of you give throughout the week. Some of you give on a consistent basis when nobody's looking. Some of you give in different ways. Some of you mail me gifts. Just know there is not one gift that the divine doesn't see. Put a spiritual demand on it and just know that your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. Those of you who are just here, those of you that shared, those of you that liked, that's a type of giving. And I want you to know I'm so grateful. I want you all to know that those of you that had my back, those of you that tell people Vicki is beyond what you all think she is. And how many of you all know that when some of you made those statements, the people that think they're smarter, the people that think they're more influential, the people that get more support than I tend to get in certain platforms, but the spirit don't really rock with them like that. You are the ones that had my back. You are the ones that are attending my schools. You are the one that attend my webinars. And when you all would say things about me that you would never say about them, they would look at you like you didn't know what you was talking about. Some of you would go on and on and on about Vicki Dillard. And some of them that think they something, they would look at you like, that little sheep don't know. And then when I start manifesting different phases of glory, they sitting back. Stealing inspiration. Stealing, I said, inspiration. Stealing, robbing inspiration. But making sure they keep a distance from me so that nobody will ever know that it's me that's helping to impact and influence them. I believe in being strategic. There are different kinds of soldiers in war. How many of y'all know they're not? Soldiers are not supposed to all do the same thing. You're not effective that way. But I also know the difference between somebody that's keeping their distance from me, somebody that's disrespecting me, somebody that wants to suppress me, and then somebody that tries to take the magic and things that I do to use it for their own good. And I trust the divine to handle those situations. But for those of you that see me, for real see me, you that don't have big platforms, you that don't have big names, And you that don't have big bucks, I rock with you for real. For real. And I want to thank you. And if it quiet as it kept, when Vicki shows up to Washington, D.C. to talk about reparations, y'all screaming like I'm Beyonce. The mere mortal don't understand why. It's because of you. And I don't want you to ever forget how much you mean to me. I love you so much. Those of you that have rocked with me from multiple networks, multiple platforms, multiple places I was on, to where I'm here, where I'm at my school, and where I'm continuously building, you know who you are. I bow to you. You are my bliss. And I love you. And I can't wait to see you again.